Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be a response to another video that I posted titled They Are Not Pets, and it was about my livestock guardian dogs not being pets as opposed to being a working dog. And I thought a little response was needed to that, and it left me with a further thought that I wanted to share with you guys. So I'm about to head out to the barn to feed everybody. It's morning time. And let's go along, do some barn chores and talk. So apparently, I got to show you guys what they'd rather do than eat right now, which funny enough plays into part of my message today. Excuse me, Janet, excuse me. Thank you. Look at what they're doing out there. They know I'm here with food and breakfast, but dogs are foragers. They do look for their own food. That's exactly what they're doing right now. You guys gonna eat? Come on! Did you find what you were looking for? Come, babe. Now, babe, you stay there. Stay there, babe. You sit, Bucka. Good boy. Excuse me, Dan. Good girl. All right. So, again, I'm going to do chores while I talk to you guys. I hope this isn't boring and this is working for you for conversations. But yeah, I want to say I was very happy and pleased to see how many people saw that video and understood it. To be honest with you, I was expecting a lot more resistance in my message that my livestock guardian dogs, I love them like pets, and trust me, when they're no longer around and, you know, their day comes, I will lose it like I would losing any other pet. But it was really refreshing to see people have an understanding of what I was trying to convey. There were still some comments where people kept saying they're still pets. It got me to thinking, really, what is a pet? I looked up the definition of a technical pet, and it's pretty much any animal that you contain and it relies on you for food and its survival. These guys here, I mean, they aren't for homesteading, but, does that make them pets? I don't know. I do believe that thought comes from what we know as perception bias, which is a cognitive bias of collecting information and experiences that we have lived or seen and coming up with a subconscious conclusion that that's what it is. And it really got me to thinking about another bigger word, anthropomorphism. I probably said it wrong, but it's looking at an animal and seeing human-like qualities in them. And we do that a lot in our society. And to some extent, it's been helpful in the sense that it keeps animals safe and alive and going. But I also think at the same time that it has created some weakness in our society that has kind of become a serious issue and quite possibly could become a very serious issue down the road, maybe not that far down the road. I feel it has taken us to a bad perception or a misguided perception of how our food comes and where it comes from. I just mentioned these guys they are pets. I mean, I got them because I rescued my livestock guardian dogs and I knew they needed a job. But in reality, if times got hard, I'm not going to lie to you, these guys would probably end up being some source of food. My goats are dairy goats, so they actually would produce milk. I haven't bred them yet because I'm just not set up, and I don't want to take that on by myself. But someday I hope to be able to breed them and have them for milk. These are meat sheep. Janet, I pretty much consider almost my best friend, so she would have a lot more longevity than, say, Danny or Chrissy. But if times got really hard and our food system crashed and collapsed, they would become food, and I would create a situation where I'm able to keep reproducing them to sustain food. I didn't grow up around animals like this. I grew up in a city. I never thought about or questioned how food came and ended up on my plate. But I do remember when we had barbecued chicken, that chicken had skin on it. It also had bones in it. You'd be hard pressed to go to any fast food place or, gosh, probably even restaurants and find chicken with skin or a bone in it. You don't see it. I actually have a friend who one time told me I can't eat chicken when it has a bone in it. It's just, ugh. And I'm thinking, can't eat chicken because it has a bone in it? What do you think they are? Like, they don't come out of a lab. Well, they might come out of a lab now, but I believe that we have gone so far beyond what a pet is and what animals are and what their purpose is that it's left us as a society pretty weak. You know, this guy here, he's in the camera. Turkey Dude's a pet, but if times got hard, he's not a pet. I've got a tom and a hen here, and initially one of the reasons I bred them was because I did want a couple of them around in case financially it gets too expensive or whatever. They ended up just being a pain in the you-know-what, and they found better homes that they get to live their best life like Turkey Dude is. This year was my first year growing a garden. In the past, I've had flower gardens and stuff like that, and I really enjoyed it. I considered myself pretty decent at it. This year, growing food for me was a completely different experience, and it was challenging. It's not as easy to grow food as you would think. I had weather working against me. I had just the fact that I had to design it from the ground up. I had little voles that were going in and just destroying a plant overnight. And, it's taught me a lot, and it's really got me thinking about having to do all that on your own and being more self-sustainable, how some of us may not even think about it. We just take it for granted that we go to the store and there is apples and oranges and cucumbers and lettuce, and gosh, none of them have a scratch on it, a bruise on it. They're all there. What happens if that's not there? And you have to grow that on your own. It taught me a lot doing that because I realized I may not always have as much of that supply as I'd like. And number two, it's a lot harder to obtain on your own. And saying that my livestock guardian dogs aren't pets, always having pets that were in the house. It was hard for me to look at them at first as only being outside and trusting that they do enjoy working and being around livestock and protecting and using that stimuli. And it's taught me being here on this ranch with these animals, we take a lot for granted and we assume a lot that that we're going to go to the store. To see people ordering their groceries online and having it delivered right to their doorstep. I'm not here to rip on any of you that are doing that. What I'm trying to do is encourage anybody who, like myself, hasn't grown up around ranch animals or been on property where you can grow your own garden. I'd really like to encourage you guys, and I'm going to continue to do posts like this on my channel, that encourage you to start thinking outside of your block, your city block. Do what you can. Start growing some vegetables on your patio. I mean, gosh, potatoes, you can fill up a bucket of dirt, throw a couple potatoes that you cut up in there, and guess what? You will have potatoes coming out. That is actually one of the more easier ones that I had voluntary. I want to offer something on this channel. I had mentioned that I was looking to build community on here, which I am looking to do, but I want to educate, I want to draw awareness without being doom and gloom and, the sky's falling and you may not wake up tomorrow. I want to bring awareness to the things that I have learned through my own experiences. Yeah, they may not be right. It may not be the best way to look at it, but it's my experience and it's how I do. And I want to encourage you guys to not be complacent. You don't have to be on a ranch, but always keep in mind that we are in a very fragile, delicate system, and it really can collapse at any point. I watched an amazing video. Some of you watching this may know the channel. Canadian Prepper put out a video last night. I'm going to put a link to it in this. But I just thought was really eye-opening and definitely something for someone to watch who hasn't really sat down and thought about how fragile our system is, our political system, our food system, our economical system, our societal system. And I really appreciated it. Someone left a comment, "I love the way you live your life." And I appreciate that. And I love hearing that, not because it's like, yep, that's right, I have this. It's not about that. It's, I want to draw interest. I want you guys to see this and think, man, could I do that? Would that be something I would like to wake up to every morning? You may not be able to have 1,000 acres. I can't. I'm not on 1,000 acres. I wish I was. But maybe start thinking about, what if I had a little acre of land somewhere where I could grow a garden, have a couple chickens, and maybe raise a couple of goats that I could milk for milk. So anyway, that's my little bit of information today. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and keep in mind, don't take things for granted. It could all change. Take care, everybody.